Good morning kids, how are you all? I hope you all are fine and doing great at your home. I am Pushpa Patel from Saraswati Group of Education and today in the last session of our first chapter, what we are going to do? We are going to solve the textual exercise. But before we start that, I just want to inform you that you don't have to write anything in your textbook. That means in exercise, you don't have to write anything. Okay? Now, textual exercise is given on page number 9. Right? Which is let us tweet. Okay? So, today we are going to solve that. As if when you get the worksheet of it, you will write this exercise in your classwork. Understood? So, now, let us start with the textual exercise. Are you all ready? Let's go.
Okay kids, so I hope you all have written the hard words in your classwork. Now, after this, what do you have to do? You first have to write the glossary. That means there are certain hard words which has its own meaning, right? Some of the hard words I have also explained you while I was explaining the chapter. So, after the hard words, the first thing you will write is glossary, right? So, in chapter number 1, you have two glossary. Now, kids, this glossary is also given in the last page of the chapter, right? So, the first glossary, that means the first word is integrated circuits. That means ICS, right? It means a collection of many electronic components fabricated on a small piece of semiconductor material, right? So this we have seen in the hard word, right? So you have to write it in your classwork. Done? The second one, artificial intelligence. That means a branch of a computer science that deals with making the computers think and take decisions like human beings, right? That means the computer, or you can say the machine which acts like human, right? So that also we have seen in the hard words. So this two glossary you have to write after the hard word. Okay kids? Now after the hard words, we'll start with the let us tweet, or you can say textual exercise. What is the first question? It is actually MCQ. But as I have told you that this year we are not going to write anything in the textbook. We will write everything in the classwork, in the notebook itself. Okay, so the first one is tick the correct answer. But here we have to write the correct option from the given options, right? The first question is name the component that was used in the second generation of computers, right? What was the technology, or you can say what was the component used in the second generation? If you remember, the option C is the correct answer for this question, and that is transistors. Okay? Now, second question. Which of the following is a characteristic of the fifth generation of computers? Now kids, whatever the options which are given in your textbook, all that are correct for the fifth generation computer. That means you can keep your textbook open while this, so you can come to know, right, that they have the power of a human intelligence and reasoning. That means they used to think like a humans. Then the B option is they are able to understand natural language. That means spoken words. Whatever the language we are speaking, they can able to understand, right? And the C option, they are able to respond to their surroundings using different types of sensors. That means these all three characteristics are actually correct for the fifth generation. So what is the correct answer? Yes, D option, all of these, right? Okay, now the third one. In which of the following generations integrated circuits were used for the first time? Right? We know that there are 5 generations of computer. From that 5 generation, which generation, right, were used the ICS, or you can say integrated circuits, for the first time? And the answer is C, third. Right? It's very easy to identify, as we have also seen the PowerPoint slide presentation for the generations of computer. Right? Now, the fourth question. In which of the following early calculating devices the placement of sticks was done in such a way that the product and quotient of large numbers can be obtained easily? Now, product and quotient means what? It means multiplication and division, right? So, options are given: abacus, Pascal and calculator, difference engine, and Napier's bones. Right? We all have seen this calculating devices. So you can guess the answer. Yes, it is C, Napier's bones. Clear? So this was the first question of tick the correct answer, where we have to write the correct answer in the notebook. Right? Let's move to the second exercise. Now, question number B, that means second question. What is that? Fill in the blanks using the words given below. In the bracket, certain words are given, right? So we just have to identify that which one is the correct answer for the given blank, right? So the first question, or you can say the first blank is: blank is an example of the first generation of computers. Now we know that in all generations the technology were different. Maybe microprocessor, maybe vacuum tubes, maybe transistors, right? So the first generation's computer, the example from the given option is UNIVAC. That means universal automatic computer. So that is the example of the first generation. So that is only the answer. Right? Now the second one. Blank was the earliest counting device. Right? There were so many counting device, you know, only, right, for calculation. Okay, so there were so many, but here in the option only one counting device is given, and that is abacus. So the correct answer is abacus. Right? Now the third blank. Microprocessors were or are developed by combining together thousands of integrated circuits onto a single silicon chip using blank. Right? Now, what do you mean by integrated circuits, or you can say what do you mean by microprocessor? You know only that microprocessor is the technology which were used in the fourth generation of computer, right, where many of the components were gathered on a one silicon chip. So that is what VLSI, very large scale integration, right? So correct answer is VLSI, right? Clear? Now the fourth blank. Blank is the branch of computer science that deals with making the computers think and take decisions like human beings. This is very easy to identify, right? That which generation of computers were having the technology, or you can say were having the capacity, or are having the capacity to think and to take the decision like humans. That is fifth generation. but which were the technology used in that? Artificial intelligence, right? So that was your blank section. Now moving further to the C section, which says write true or false, right? So I hope you have understood till here. Let us start with the true or false segment. What is the first one? The first generation of computers used vacuum tubes. Again, the question which is related to the generation of computers, right? Here we just have to find whether the given statement is correct or wrong. So, the first generation were used vacuum tubes as their technology. So, do you remember it? Yes, it is the correct answer. So, the statement is also true. Right? Now, the second one. Wearable gadgets can only be worn on hands. Now, wearable gadgets means what? Can you give me certain examples? Yes, like AirPods, like smartwatches, like Fitbands, right? Like Bluetooth, right? Bluetooth, I can say hands free. Okay, so we cannot say that wearable gadgets can only be worn on hands, right? If we have a Bluetooth hands free, so we don't have to wear it on our hands, we can hang it around on our neck, right? So there are so many wearable gadgets which can be used by people for wearing on hands, maybe putting in their ears or hanging around their neck. So this statement will be what? Yes, it is false. Now kids, see, answers are written here, but when I'm explaining, you just have to recall the lectures, what we have understood, right? So that you can easily remember. Okay, let's move further. Okay, so after the second true or false statement, we are moving further to the third one. What is the third question? The third generation of computers used microprocessor, right? The statement is false. Why? Because here it is written. So just tell me that which were the technology used in the third generation of computer? Anyone? Yes, it is ICS. That means integrated circuits, right? So the given statement is totally wrong. So answer is what? It is false, right? Moving further to the fourth one. Computers can be connected to form a global network called internet. It's very easy. Yes, the answer is true, right? But why? See, we can connect our computer to a network and we can search anything, right? And everything on it with the help of internet, right? So the statement is what? Yes, it is true. Now, the fifth one. The question is, the fifth generation of computers have the power of human intelligence and reasoning. देखो क्वेश्चन नंबर भी फिफ्थ है और पूछा गया है वो भी फिफ्थ जनरेशन का, राइट? सो हियर द थिंग्स आर रिपीटेड ओवर एंड ओवर, सो वी कैन से that this statement is totally true just because the fifth generation computers were actually like the humans. You can say humanoids or robots, right? So this statement is what? It is true. So I hope you have understood the true or false segment. Moving further to the D section, which says name the following. What do you mean by it? See, there are certain statement given in the form of a hint and you just have to identify that what they are talking about, right? What they try to tell us, right? So according to the hint given in the question, we have to write the correct answer. The first question. The first automatic calculating engine developed by Charles Babbage, right? That means which was the engine were invented by Charles Babbage for the calculation. There were two actually, right? But first was difference engine. Can you tell me the second one? Yes, it is actually analytical engine. The major difference was that analytical engine can able to store the data, right? और difference engine में सिर्फ calculation होता था, right? So difference engine is the answer. Now the second one, the technology used in the first generation of computers. Again, it's very easy. What were the technology used in the first generation? It is vacuum tube, right? See, so in the question hints are given, so you have to identify, right? You have to tell me the correct answer. Third question, the device invented by John Napier, right? John Napier has invented one calculating device which were also known as the early calculating device, and the name of it was Napier's bones, right? Now till here the answers were written. Now read the fourth question and give me the answer. An example of a voice based assistant. There are so many gadgets, there are so many good technology which can work according to our voice if we are connecting it to the internet. So you just have to give me the two examples, right? Or any one example of a voice based assistant. Can you give me? Yes, kids. So the answer for the fourth question, which was voice based assistant, and answer is Alexa or Siri, which is working for iPhone, right? Okay. The fifth one, the global network of computers through which we can connect our computer to any corner of the world, right? And we can search anything and everything. We can communicate with the people living in a different part of the world, right? So that is what global network, internet, right? So that was the D section. Now we are moving to the one of the important section of your textual exercise, and that is answer the following question. That means question and answer, right? First one, differentiate between the second and the fourth generation of computers. That means what were the differences between the second and fourth generation? Now kids, as you can see here that I have made a two parts, right? So same way you are going to make a two parts in your classwork, and you will write like this, the way I have written over here, right? So the first part is second generation and the second part is fourth generation. So we will read one topic in each, okay? One point in each topic, okay? So the first point in second generation is transistors were used in this generation. That means the name of the technology, right? Or the name of component which were used in the particular generation. So in the second generation it was transistors, and in a fourth generation it was microprocessors, right? So ये दोनों में अलग हो गया, तो ये हमने क्या किया, डिफ्रेंशिएट किया. डिफ्रेंशिएट मतलब दोनों में क्या क्या अलग अलग है, that we have to say, right? So first were based on the technology used. One was a transistor and the second one is microprocessors. Moving to the second point, to the second generation computer, like they were smaller and faster as compared to the first generation computers. That means if you compare the second generation, first generation से काफ़ी छोटे थे and it was very fast also, right? Now to the fourth generation, they are smaller, energy efficient and more reliable than earlier generation of computers, and the storage capacity is very large. That means the generation, जैसे जैसे generations बढ़ती जा रही है उसके अंदर के फ़ायदे भी बढ़ते जा रहे हैं, right? So fourth generation computers were also very small, but they were energy efficient. They were saving the energy, they were saving the time, and they were also having a capacity to store the large amount of data in it, right? So that was about the fourth generation. Now the third point in both the topic are the example. UNI VAC third, that 3 I have written in the Roman digit, right? IBM 1401 are its example. So these two computers were of the second generation, and IBM PC, Apple Macintosh are its example. That means these two are the example of fourth generation, right? So I hope you are clear till here, right? Moving further to the second question. What are the advantages of the fifth generation of computers? That means how the fifth generation of computer is useful to us, which we are using right now, right? We are using fifth generation of computers. So how it is useful to us? See, the advantage of this generation of computer is that they are able to, right? They are able to understand natural language, that means spoken words. What we speak they do understand easily and respond using different types of sensors. That means we all know that in a fifth generation of computers artificial intelligence technology is used. They act like a human. That means computers are able to take the decisions, they are able to think, and based on that thinking power they can able to take the decision. So we can say that they do understand our language and they take their own decision. This was, or you can say this is the best ever advantage of the fifth generation, right? And they give us response in the form of sensors, or not in the form of sensors, but I can say with the help of different sensors, right? So that was our second question. Moving towards to the third one, expand and define VLSI. Now expand means we have to write its full form, right? So the full form of VLSI is very large scale integration, right? And we know only that it was used in fourth generation of computers. See uska definition. Microprocessors are developed by combining together thousands of integrated circuits onto a single silicon chip using VLSI. That means to develop a computer which is very small in a size, we have to just decrease the size of components, electronic components, right? So it was decreased in the form of a microprocessor, and on a single chip so many circuits like ICs were joined, right? It was combined, and it was combined using VLSI. So only it is considered as very large scale integration. Clear? Now the last question of the first chapter. What is that? Mention any three characteristics of a computer, right? We know only that computers are useful in a different way just because it has a capacity to perform various tasks. So based on that we have to write its characteristics. It can perform any type of complex calculation in less time, right? If we start doing calculation manually on a piece of paper, we may take longer time, but the computer will perform this task in a very less time. So it is one of its characteristics, right? Second one, computers save energy, time of humans, right? See, here also I have made a mistake, but I'm also human, so I can make a mistake, right? So आपको नहीं करनी है, right? Computers can save our energy as well as our time. Okay, and the last one, computer can store lot of data and information in it, right? So whatever we want to store on a hard disk of a computer we can store easily, और जब भी हमें चाहिए we can take out, we can fetch the data very easily, right? So here I have written only three characteristics, but other than this three there are so many characteristics on which the computer is working, right? So we can say in short that the computer has made our life too much easy, right? I hope you have understood. the whole exercise portion of the first chapter.
Yes kids, now I hope you have understood that how to write all the exercise in your classwork book. Understood? Yes? So you will finish your writing work in the classwork. Okay? So today I am ending my session over here. We are going to meet in the next session where we will start our new lesson. Okay? So I am taking your leave. We will meet next time. Till that time, please stay at home, stay safe. Bye bye.